All right, hey guys, welcome to Sundari Broadcast System. This is our very first episode, and with me I have Jordan, Luke, and Dom. Today we are going to be talking about Obi Wan.
What a glorious shit show those 2 episodes were.
Where to start is my question. Where to start?
I think as all stories go, we should start at the beginning because it has the best opening scene of any live action series I've ever seen. To be fair, any Star Wars series, in my opinion, that I've ever seen. With my boys, the Inquisitors, because why wouldn't you start with the Inquisitors in a show all about the Inquisitors?
Yeah.
I liked it. Going against the controversy that the Grand Inquisitor doesn't look as good as he should. First of all, I don't care. I understand why some fans are like, he doesn't look as he shouldn't the Rebel series. I mean, it's not the first time we've had someone of his species in live action Star Wars. I think there was that guy in episode 3, which was like thousands of battle droids. Tens of level, like that guy. But for what we had and for what they did for the Grand Inquisitor and all the Inquisitors, apart from Reva, because human, they did a good job. I like the effects. I like what they've done with the limitations of special effects and technology they have. I just thought it was a really good opening. To be fair, it definitely gave us the imposing elements of the Inquisitors and the attitude they have towards hunting Jedi as a whole. But yeah, that's my 2 cents on the matter. I just really like the opening. You guys know how I feel about the Inquisitors as a whole. I am just an absolute simp for every single one of them, and I will die on that hill until I am buried 6 feet under.
So on the topic of Inquisitors and on the topic of the beginning of the episode, right before that, we saw, of course, we were going to see an Order 66 flashback. Mm-hmm. At least I saw it coming. I don't know about anybody else, but
it caught me off guard, I will admit.
Yeah, how they did it caught me off guard. But it was great to see. So everyone's like, why is Reva so hellbent on finding Obi Wan? Stuff like that. And I'm like, she's probably one of the younglies that was running around the temple. I don't feel like they would have just showed us this random 66 flashback without it connected to one of the characters in some way. And I think that's just my little theory. I think she was in the Jedi Temple, she was hiding, and maybe she saw Obi-Wan doing some shady shit, and she was like, oh, absolutely not. And she's like hell-bent on trying to capture him and win Vader's favor. I mean, it's anyone's guess at this point. We're only 2 episodes in, and with no idea what to expect. So
there's a lot to it. Which there's also one thing that. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, go ahead.
There is another thing before the Order 66 sequence happened. One thing that caught my interest right before we even started was the flashbacks.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Here's what it reminded me of, and I'm very happy for this. This is not like any negative. You remember when we used to watch like we stream YouTube on Discord, and we would just play these nice, well edited videos with compilations basically telling a story of editing from a movie of another story. You see what I mean? That's basically what the flashback felt like.
I liked it.
It gave enough information for us to go off of because of how huge the impact is for the story, and it sounds. I'm still getting chills even thinking about it.
Yeah. So in the first episode, were there like any like small details that y'all picked up on, or was like, that's interesting, that's kind of weird, kind of thing?
I think. Who wants to go first?
You go first.
Okie dokie. I think one of my favorite small details in the episode, again going back to the whole Inquisitor opening. Did you guys notice when the Grand Inquisitor was speaking to the tavern or the cantina owner, when he was saying, that the Jedi code is like an itch, he cannot help it. Did you notice the moment he turned around? Did you see his eyes change from like a deep, like his eyes?
That was
I
my
think
favorite.
That's like the first time in live action, anyway, we've seen the actual like dark side corruption go into somebody's eyes. I know in episode 3 we saw Anakin turn around with his yellow eyes, and I think we saw them. They did. Obviously, they turned yellow when he was burning on Mustafar. But like from an actual character showing the dark side in them, obviously, when the Inquisitor turns around, and is like, "You helped this Jedi into your saloon." You see his eyes fade from a deep brown to the Sith yellow, and then again later in the episode when he's on what's the new Dio? Is it Dio? When he's on Dio, and obviously he sees the bounty that was Dayu. That's it. He sees the bounty that Reva put out on Obi Wan, and you see his eyes again change from the deep brown to the Sith yellow. But not only that, you see the color of his face changes as he gets genuinely furious with this renegade Inquisitor. And I think it's small details like that are really starting to pique my interest and grab my attention. Again, as Jordan said, we're only 2 episodes in, and I really want to see more of this. I'm really interested to see if Reva actually shows any dark side corruption herself, because she seems pretty well deep in the well of dark side bullshittery that it is. But she hasn't manifested any of the telltale signs. Like, she's not got the pale skin, the yellow eyes. Like, I know, big twist at the end, we saw Vader, and Vader's eyes were bright red. And even then, like, we've not seen Sith with red eyes before in live action. I know have we actually?
Wait, did they show him with red eyes?
Yeah, when if you look again, when Vader, when we see the Vader scene at the end where he opens his eyes and he's in the Bacta tank, his eyes are red. His eyes aren't yellow; they're not yellow; they're red. So that's like, this is like Vader pre Rogue One, pre A New Hope, pre finding out the Rebels exist and Luke exists, and he's like having the conflict in his mind. This is Vader, like in the Vader comics, like at his peak. Granted. The last time we
all read.
Oh no, yeah, the Vader comics are fantastic. They are a really good piece of Star Wars lore, and they're all canon, which is great. But I know, those comics are the last time we see Vader in his prime, and it would be nice to see it in live action. I know we got like a bit. I want to say we got a bit of it in Rogue One at the end scene where we see Vader, do the infamous hallway walk. But I'm really excited to see what like little stuff they throw into this. I mean, obviously there's going to be a lot of references to the old episodes. So like Obi Wan still has the EOP from episode 3. Obviously Obi Wan giving the toy ship to Luke, and obviously Owen shucking it back. We're going to see that again because it's the toy he has in the movie. But yeah, they're my little details that I like.
Hold on. What was another thing that piqued my interest?
So for me, like, this is completely just out of like weirdness, is that big fish that Obi-Wan's working on.
Yeah, that was a real thing. That was a live dead thing.
I want to know where that thing came from. What the hell?
That's what I want to know. Like, is it native to Tatooine? What is it? Like, what's it called? And this is just like the real life aspect of things that I'm really curious about. How are they keeping it fresh? Because 2 suns, that thing would spoil faster than you can say. Like, spoil. And it's still like day 2, Obi-Wan goes back and he's still working on fresh fish.
You think what even is it?
I mean, it could be, because I know, obviously, we learn in the Book of Boba Fett that Tatooine was once a water world, but I'm thinking that's like hundreds of years ago, and
hundreds of thousands.
Well, yeah, that was like way back in the past of Tatooine.
That place is located in the Dune Sea, which means I think it's more.
maybe maybe it was a sort of it's like similar to a crate dragon in a sense. Like it evolved and adapted to be climatized to swim in sand. I guess it's an interesting little point they brought up. And now that I think about it, now my head is racing with questions because I need to know what it is.
It gives more reason why it's called the Dune Sea.
Maybe.
I think the creature is just. I think it's something as simple as he adapted to his environment and like he can his meat just lasts longer. I think it literally could be that simple.
Maybe.
There's an inappropriate joke right there.
One of my little small details was the little shuttle that you see Luke playing with in A New Hope. Obviously, at the end of, or towards the end of the first episode, Owen gives it back to Obi Wan. But now I'm like, okay, well, how does it get it back? Does Owen go and like steal it back? He's like, he kind of feels bad that he like was damn near cussed out Obi Wan. Like he was on the verge of cussing this man out.
He was so close.
Like, let me be nice.
Griffin Carabas bastard.
And gave his nephew the toy because he was like, he's right, it's just a toy. That was my neat little detail, I guess.
So I'm gonna mix things up a little bit. Jordan, you actually went to Star Wars Celebration. Is there anything you want to talk about? Is there like obviously it was live for everyone to see in real time, but is there anything you want to talk about that you saw there? Like just interactions or like announcements from Star Wars Celebration?
Yeah, so I will be doing my own podcast on this, so I'm not gonna sound like a broken record, so I'm just gonna give like a very like vague like this is what I saw, this is how I reacted, and we're just gonna move from there.
And real quick, Jordan's podcast is Star Wars Culture. It airs on Thursdays.
Allegedly.
8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. So go check it out. Now, Jordan, continue. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, just in general, Celebration was, the atmosphere was just something out of a dream. We're all there celebrating the same thing. Just everybody's energy was just so electric and positive throughout the whole event. The first day there was a Lucasfilm showcase where they talked about all things Lucasfilm. Notice how I said Lucasfilm because I didn't just talk about Star Wars, even though it was Star Wars Celebration. We got a first look at
Willow.
Willow sequel, and then we got a look at Indiana Jones, which the way they announced Indiana Jones was also something out of a dream because John Williams had came out and he like performed a little bit, and then he said, thanks for coming out, guys. This next song isn't Star Wars, but you're gonna love it all the same. That he started playing the Indiana Jones theme, and at the end, Harrison Ford walks out.
Oh, did he?
What?
Yeah, Harrison Ford shows up, and he's like, "Yep, new Indiana Jones coming.
Oh,
whenever
jeez.
it's coming." I forgot when he said it was
That's
coming.
Great.
Yeah. So that happened, and then Friday, around the same time, there was a Mandalorian Plus panel. Mandalorian Plus on Disney Plus, and the Plus basically meant it was going to be about Mandalorian, Book of Boba Fett, Ahsoka, and something else. No, not something else. I'm thinking about something else. But it was basically, the Mandoverse and everything going on there. They announced
trademark patent pending.
They announced when Ahsoka and Mandalorian Season 3 will be coming out in February of next year, 2023. And then they gave us a little sneak peek at Ahsoka. But I think I'm going to keep my mouth shut about what was
you can't do that to us here, dude.
A lot of it was leaks. So, if you could go find the leaks, you find the leaks. But
yeah,
I guess we're just going to have to wait till Thursday to hear Jordan talk about it on his podcast.
Yeah, because I'm not... I'm a guest here. I'm not giving away all my secrets.
I see how it is.
Yeah. And that same day, we went to see Tales of the Jedi panel, which I had a hard time figuring out what Tales of the Jedi was about because they didn't like give a lot of information, nor was I really paying attention to the information that was given before the panel. Nor did I even know I was going to the panel until like an hour before.
How did you? All right. How did that come about?
I don't know. I went because I knew it was a Dave Filoni thing, so I was like, okay, I'll go to anything Dave Filoni, like, cool. And the panel opens up, he shows up, and one of the moderators like, who's gonna be in it, and then a picture of Jedi Count Dooku flashes across the big screen, and
I saw that
that
picture.
Wow,
seeing that picture was, that's something that my dad and I really want to see.
Yeah, and we got the first episode and a trailer, and I'm just gonna say this: Baby Yoda has a run for his merchandise money.
Oh no!
Someone we know very well is about to give him a run for his money. So
we already got a view of who we know it.
I'm pretty sure I've seen the trailer for the.
I've seen pictures.
The trailer has been released, but Jordan got to see episode 1.
How dare he?
Yeah,
it was getting special treatment in the Star Wars universe.
I'm not going to give away any more details.
So
the trailer's been leaked.
The trailer's been released.
So were there any interactions you had with other fans or like fans of your podcast, your TikTok, or anything like that?
Yeah, so my podcast is in a network of like 50 other podcasts who talk about the same thing, yet we all managed to make it fresh and new. I am quite impressed with how we are able to do that, because when I first started, I was like, I don't know how we're going to pull this off when 50 other people are talking about the same thing. But we're gonna do it, and we've been doing great so far. So I met a lot of those guys. I met the guys from Star Wars Underworld. I met Rex and Around and a bunch of other TikTokers.
Wow.
Element 7 and Darth Choco were there.
Nice.
Dented Helmet. Anyone that we all follow was probably there.
Man, I need to get back. I need to get back onto Star Wars TikTok.
I actually just did random videos in Leo last night. I'm going to be honest.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to try really hard to get Element 7 or Darth Choco or whoever on here whenever we have like a big topic to talk about. Because I feel like having either of them or both of them, since they're Star Wars dyads, that would be great to have them on here, and just brings a different type of energy here, because we all the 4 of us know each other, so we all have like we know.
Oh yeah, of course.
But throwing in those wild cards of Darth Choco and Element 7, that'd be great.
I smell profit.
Thank you, Hondo Anaka.
Speaking of Hondo, Road Smugglers Run in Disneyland and Galaxy's Edge, that was amazing. Smugglers Run in Rise of the Resistance, best Disney rides ever. I got on Rise of the Resistance twice. I would have gotten on it a third time had the second time not have been right before they closed.
No.
Yeah.
Honestly, next year for me can't come quick enough. 2 weeks in Galaxy's.
Aren't you coming?
I am coming stateside. I am visiting Galaxy's Edge with the family for 2 weeks, and I am not going to be leaving Galaxy's Edge until those 2 weeks are over.
Let me tell you. Okay, so you're going to Disney World, right? You're not in Florida.
I think
he's going to Disney World in Florida.
Yeah, we're going to Florida.
So I went to California. They're very similar, but when if you get lost in Hollywood, because the one in Florida is in Hollywood Studios, the one in California is just in Disneyland. Like you just take a
Right.
turn, and it's like right there. But the specific part that the one in Florida is in is Hollywood Studios. If you get lost in Hollywood Studios because you're a Star Wars fan, you're gonna end up back in Galaxy's Edge. I'm just letting you know now.
Great.
My
I was
dad and
supposed
I-
to be leaving. I was supposed to be leaving the park. And I was like, I don't know where the fuck to go because there was like a big parade happening in fireworks. So they like rerouted a bunch of routes. And I was like, okay. And then we were walking and I was like, why does that rock look familiar? And then 100 more steps. I'm near the Millennium Falcon again. I'm like, how did I do this?
So I think the first thing I'm going to be doing when I come stateside and when I eventually get my ass over to Galaxy's Edge, it's going to be one of three things. It's going to be buy some blue milk, because blue milk.
Yes.
I really want to try that.
Immediately run into the Millennium Falcon and smuggle myself into the cockpit and never leave. Or three, go build a lightsaber. It'll be one of those three things. I mean, I have an addiction to lightsabers. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them. Most of them are NeoPixels, but I still want to build my own because it's my lightsaber. You know, it's my own unique one. So I'm looking very forward to it. I'm also looking forward to getting you guys to come down to Florida at the same time when I come down, so I can actually meet you. I can actually meet you stupid people in person because
My dad is literally trying our best to get there at around the same time that you
are. I can give you dates. I can give you dates for when we're coming, so you guys can sort it out. I mean, you've got 2 weeks, dude.
Yeah.
You got 2 weeks to see me. You got 2 weeks to film TikTok videos with Ashley because I will be going to Galaxy's Edge and onto Rise of the Resistance as Ashley. I've already made the choice to go in cosplay.
There's this picture I took of me in the Imperial Cruiser hallway, and I was like, I could Photoshop this as Thrawn right now. And I was like, stop. Let me calm down.
I may at that time because my goal before that is for cosplay is just have, because I have this, but the lightsaber that I really want is Ezra's, and they sell it as a NeoPixel, and I'm trying to save my money for it.
I think my next NeoPixel, if I'm going to be getting a lightsaber, will probably either be Ezra's, the blaster one, because it's just a nice looking lightsaber. Or it'll be one of the other NeoPixels on the patch store, because why the hell wouldn't I be buying one of them? Because I have a problem and I'm not afraid to admit it. I will always have a problem when it comes to buying lightsabers because I need them all. I need all of them. But yeah, I need more of it. I think Star Wars Celebration has brought a lot to the table. We've had so many announcements, so many different things. Obviously, with the Kenobi series, as Jordan said, that we've got Mandalorian season 3. We've got the Ahsoka reveal. We have the Andor trailer.
The Andor trailer was so good.
I am so excited to watch that because obviously you guys know, and hot tip for the audience watching, my favorite Star Wars movie is Rogue One. You won't ever change my mind. Everyone in this stream knows how much of a fanboy I am for that movie because of what it brings to the table.
So I don't know if you watched the live stream of when they were talking about it, but the director basically was like, to summarize, he said Andor is going to be 2 seasons. And the very last episode of the last season is going to do the same thing Rogue One did, where it went right into A New Hope. And at the end of season 2, it's going to go right into Rogue One. So,
nice.
Yeah.
So, Jordan, while I have you front and center, do you want to unbox what I sent you?
So,
if you have it nearby.
I do not have it nearby.
Oh man,
I do not. I have to go. I'm in the middle of unpacking and repacking because I'm going to Washington on Friday. So yeah, a lot's happening, but it will be on the box in a separate video or on my channel this week.
Woo! We're looking forward to that because I want to see what you've been sent.
But just to let everybody know, Jordan had sent me some of his cosplay stuff, and
that needed all the TLC.
Oh, you finally done it.
And I completely revamped it and made it look, in my opinion, but I'm biased, 1,000 times better.
Oh, looking forward to seeing that then.
Yeah.
And I've been anxiously awaiting his in-person reaction because I have sent him pictures throughout the process and he says he loves them, but nothing beats seeing the actual face of looking at what you knew you had and what you have now.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Definitely, yep. I have a before picture somewhere, I think. I had to empty my phone's photo album because my storage got full. So everything's backed up on OneDrive. Everything's backed up on Google Drive. Everything's backed up on another drive. And my pictures and videos are all over the place right now.
So I have a question for all of you. So obviously throughout your journey throughout the 2 episodes of Kenobi, if you could pick one scene from both episodes to be your favorite so far, what would you pick and why? Charlie, we'll start with you.
Oh, that's a difficult one right there.
You only get one choice, and one choice is your favorite, and why is your favorite scene. It can be a long scene, it could be a long drawn out bit, it could be a fight, it could be literally one word of dialogue, it could be a fucking cameo of Ewan McGregor's daughter in the episode. I don't care. What could it be and why?
I'm gonna have to say the interaction between Obi-Wan and Owen, because like we see in the prequels and in the original trilogy, like it looks like they had an okay relationship. And then we see, like, you have to like read the comics and read the books to actually see like more of how they more of their relationship. But this is like on screen, we can see like that, like they did not have a good relationship. It wasn't like they were friends. And Owen was like, "Yeah, you can be around my nephew and all this." No, he honestly hated Obi-Wan because he blames Obi-Wan for Anakin dying, because to him Anakin's dead,
which is real bold. I got beef with Owen. You know what? I'm gonna say I'm probably the only one, but I got beef with Owen Lars. How the hell did you let your decrepit daddy go try and find your stepmama and he failed, and you sat there and watched Anakin go find that woman, and you didn't? First of all, you didn't go help. You accepted defeat just like your decrepit ass daddy, and then now you came back 15 years later with the vengeance, with some balls on you, sir. You trained his father. No, screw you, Owen, because you don't get to talk about letting Skywalkers die.
Did he?
We can all agree that Owen Lars woke up that day and chose violence. We can all agree.
Yes,
but like I guess as far as the galaxy knows, like Anakin died in the Jedi Temple, so like it's really interesting to see their dynamic. Like Obi-Wan didn't just up front tell Owen like, "Hey, this is what happened to Anakin." He doesn't want to draw extra attention and just lets Owen believe that Anakin died during Order 66 in either the Jedi Temple or some far off front during the Clone Wars.
It is definitely a good interaction between the two. I like that in that scene as well. If you guys noticed it as well, I think a lot of people have noticed it. Obviously, Ewan McGregor he's changed his voice just a touch. For everyone, he's taking on the spirit of Sir Allen Guinness.
He talked about that a lot.
He's definitely putting Alex spin on Obi-Wan, and I do enjoy it. It's very, very nice. I like the little twinges in his voice, the accent change, how he speaks is now a bit different as well. Still has that Episode 3 Clone Wars good old feel to the classic Obi-Wan. But yeah, I like it a lot. So Dominic, onto you, good sir. What is your favorite scene out of the 2 episodes of the Kenobi series so far, and why?
I know I got 2. I have only one to pick.
Only one to choose.
Can I show options?
You can do honorable mentions.
Okay. So the one I'm going to choose. Oh, I just lost what I was the other. Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
The one I'm going to choose.
Don't
Ladies and
hurry up. I literally have 1 minute.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Before
here's my favorite.
Okay. While
I'll give you.
Dom thinks,
I'll
I'm
give
gonna
you.
just go.
Okay. I'll give you just. I'm gonna just give you a line.
Before you do, let's all say goodbye to Jordan because Jordan has to go to do laundry and then go
I
to
have
bed.
to go do adult stuff. I'm back from
Go
sleep.
do your adult things, Jordan. Thank you for stopping by.
I'll be back. Y'all know me. I'll be back with a vengeance. Like
Oh, we
But
know
every
this way too
time-
well.
Like you did with Owen.
like you did with his father. Oh, if this wasn't YouTube, I would say some words.
So with that, Jordan, thank you for coming. Everyone, be sure to check out Star Wars Culture Thursdays, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. What time is it for Hannah in Australia when y'all go live? It's Thursday.
11 something maybe.
11 a.m.
11 a.m. in Australia.
Yeah.
But y'all, be sure to check out Star Wars Culture. It's a really good podcast. The hosts there are really great. I've been on there myself doing a trivia night. So yeah, y'all just go check it out. And again, Jordan, thank you for coming.
Thank you for stopping by, Jordan. Bye.
Bye. All right, so the one that's going to take the cake for my choice, the Jedi.
Yes.
that was such, and like from the first hand motion and urgency, like from the first hand motion and urgency when sitting down, it was just, I forget if he said his name at all.
I genuinely forget that guy's name. I think it was mentioned.
He did say his name, but I forget it.
We're just gonna call him the scammer.
I'm just gonna call him the guy from Eternals.
Yes.
Eternals, yeah. The Eternal Jedi. So this man comes in with urgency, rushing this mother and child, and you'll be safe here. Just dramatics. He moves the arm, and then the things close.
Yeah.
And then the it's how you would expect any dramatic telling of Star Wars would be, but it doesn't fit with the music, and it's because it's just which
you could tell from you could tell from the offset something was off with this guy.
Yeah.
I loved it though. I loved it because obviously at that time period of the galaxy, people are desperate. People are very, very, very much in need, and who is he to not take advantage of the situation, pretend to be a Jedi, probably get himself killed in the process? He almost did.
Oh yeah, this is also why it's my favorite.
God, that scene was stupid in the alleyway. So you finally found me. It's like, dude, what are you doing?
So you found. Oh,
that's an Inquisitor. Stop it.
Yeah, it's another reason why that's my favorite. Right after he charges them and says you're a saber and claims the child is force sensitive, maybe that's correct. Probably the mother told him, but that's such an assumption. That's the point where I was joking with my mom. Mommy, look, I can move things. Nothing's happening, son. And right as they go out of the room, Obi-Wan's right there and holds him at blaster point.
Obi-Wan using blasters is a whole new thing.
Yeah.
So uncivilized.
Uncivilized.
Jedi don't carry blasters, my ass.
Obi-Wan, we know what you're doing.
Yeah, he's correct. He is not the Obi-Wan
he's not the man he used to be.
It was such. You could see the anger. I'm going to say this for Obi-Wan. It's the urgent anger.
Oh yeah, you could see the frustration on his face. Like, how dare you pretend to be a Jedi? How dare you pretend to be the brothers and sisters I fought and bled with in the war that lasted 3 years? The Clone Wars.
Yeah, 3.5.
3.5 years, maybe 4, nearly 4. And this guy just rocks up pretending to be a Jedi. Any Jedi would be angry with that guy.
You would. Especially like he doesn't even give a title. He doesn't. He's just called. His title is Jedi. No knight, no Padawan, no master. It's
so my like this isn't like a justification, but it's kind of like it would make sense. Obi Wan doesn't know every Jedi in the Order. There were like 10,000 Jedi Knights.
Yeah, okay.
During the Clone Wars.
That is true.
Yeah, okay.
So, like, it'd be understandable, like, if Obi-Wan didn't recognize a Jedi.
Ooh.
But then he knows, like, hey, we're trying to hide, so why is this dude just openly using the Force?
Yeah, and in this wide area with cameras, in an area where you lead your halt to the, I am entering your mind, and it just I am now exiting.
That entire scene of him like doing the mind trick over the comms unit had me cackling. Honestly, like as you said, Dom, it's the whole thing of I am entering your mind. Like what, sir? First of all, that's not how that works. That, to quote Han Solo, that's not how the Force works. Like,
how does he lead him to good passage?
I don't know. He's scamming people out of money, for God's sake. The man can do what he wants.
I'm surprised that he wasn't killed.
I mean, he almost was. And then for some reason, against her better judgment and against what I thought Reva was going to do, she didn't kill him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I suppose. I mean, it was interesting because obviously when she did the whole mind probe thing, one of my friends was like, "Oh, she can do that," and I was like, "She's literally the third character in Star Wars canon that can do that. It's not a special ability anymore. Kylo Ren did it, the Grand Inquisitor can do it, and now Reva."
Yeah,
like
Maul did it.
And Maul did it. Yes,
it would be a thing too. Yeah, it could just be a thing that like it's a dark side ability that is probably common to gain information in the Inquisitores.
I mean, it's more or less just Jedi mind trick if you think about it.
It's just more aggressive.
Instead of tricking your opponent into giving you information, you reach into their mind and pull the information out.
They just have to think it. Like.
So like we see a light side example of it in the Clone Wars when Mace Windu, Obi-Wan, and Anakin all use using the mind trick on Cad Bane, but he's such a strong-willed person. They weren't just able to like tell us the information. They literally had to bear down on him, and it caused him physical pain.
It's like the way I see it with the Force, it's both physical and mental energy.
Oh, definitely.
Their physical and mental auras and energy are one and the same. It can have an effect. And
to quote Qui-Gon, the Force surrounds us, penetrates us. It is what we are.
Penetrate. I'm an adult, I swear.
Luke with the child humor.
I'm an adult, I swear. I'm 25. I mean it.
It's that precise. It's the precise. The Force, when someone's wielding the Force, someone needs to be smooth. Mostly on the light side, it's a smooth, direct cause. But for a dark side user like Reva, I don't know how to say. However you pronounce her name,
Reva. I think
Reva. Whenever she's mind probing, it's more of focus on how sharp it needs to be. Like it's smooth for light side users, smooth like air. For dark side users, sharp like blades.
Yeah, it's very much a thing of when a dark side user is using mind probe, it's very much to the point of I'm going to get the information. It just depends on how strong my victim is going to be until they give that information up. I mean, obviously, we see Maul. Maul does it to a clone trooper in season 7. Reva's just done it to this Jedi. We see the Grand Inquisitor do it to Kanan in Rebels. And then I think, obviously, the strongest use of the ability was Kylo Ren when he used it on Poe and Rey. Like, the way Kylo does it is he does it the same. It's just he's doing it on a much more aggressive scale, and he's doing it to the point of you know, as we see him do it with Poe, he renders his victim unconscious after he does it because he just tore their mind apart to find what he wants.
It's sharp, quick, and it's binding.
Very
Really, like very constrictive.
So like the way I see it is like Grand Inquisitor, Maul, Reva, all of them that use it like pre like Clone Wars and after, they're like a scalpel. Well, Kylo Ren's like a hammer.
Oh, definitely.
That's why everybody passes out afterwards.
Kylo Ren just walks in, going, "Haha, the doors are open, mine now."
And see, I don't want to go on a tangent about the sequels, but my thing with my issue, I guess you could say, with Kylo Ren is he's like, oh yes, dark side, aggressive. Like that's not all the dark side is. Like if we look at Count Dooku, he's very elegant with the dark side. Like he turns it like, yes, it's very brutal, it's very aggressive, but he honestly turns it into a kind of a thing of beauty. He's very elegant with it.
Mm-hmm.
It's respectful.
But then we have Kylo Ren over here, just like smash.
This is the only way I know.
I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how, in my opinion, it'll be interesting to see how the Inquisitors as a whole in the Kenobi series use their Force powers, because obviously we get a bit of a you know, from where we've seen the Inquisitors in the extended media, you know, when we see the ones in Rebels, we see them use the dark side a bit, and then we see the ones in Fallen Order, we see the Second Sister and the Ninth Sister use it. Obviously, we see the Ninth Sister using her unique ability to sense someone's emotions, so she will go out of her way to cause someone to suffer to like fear, anger, frustration. Like every time you'll notice when she's fighting Cal on Kashyyyk, she's constantly berating him and saying stuff to him like, "Oh, you're going to fail. You can't stop the Empire. The Jedi failed. I was a Jedi once. Screw you!" Like all that stuff. And it's gonna be fun to see how the Inquisitors in live action do it, especially the two new Inquisitors we've got, because we have the third sister, which we've seen a bit of her. You know, she's just completely off the fucking rails. But we also have the fourth sister,
who we know nothing about.
We know absolutely nothing about her, bar from one comic issue where she was in disguise using a lightsaber pike. We've not seen her in we've not seen her in live action. Now we see her in live action out of her disguise using a completely different weapon. And I really am looking forward to seeing her specifically get some more screen time, if you know what I mean.
I don't even know her species. That's my
I have no idea.
It looks like what's hold on, Depa Balaba's species similar.
It looks similar to that, very similar. No, I could not tell you.
The twin Jedi, the spoilers, the ones that Fives' partner, premature Order 66.
Oh, I think
Season 6.
maybe.
I'll have to look at her again.
But that dates back to like, I think all my favorite scenes, ironically, are in the Kenobi series, and it's no shocker to you guys. You know, every single scene with the Inquisitors in it are just my favorite scenes in Kenobi. I think my favorite scene in Kenobi that has the Inquisitors in it is when the Grand Inquisitor, the fourth sister, and the fifth brother come to Daiyu, and they start berating Reva, and like it's just showing like the authority levels between the Inquisitores and how much they really don't like each other. Like you're the Grand Inquisitor saying, "Oh, you came to us from the gutter. You know what you are. And what is that? The least of us." It's like, hold on a second. I know there's no hierarchy system in the Inquisitors, apart from the Grand Inquisitor, obviously. But like, I know a lot of them like to use their title as like fifth, seventh to their advantage. Like we have that in Rebels, where like fifth is like talking to the seventh sister, and he's like, "Do I not need to tell you again, seventh sister?" And she's like, "Yes, fifth brother. Like, I get it. You're a few numbers above me. Screw you." Like, Reva just doesn't, she doesn't follow that stigma at all. Like, she doesn't respect the level of authority. She only seems to listen to Vader. Like, in episode 2, she attacks the fucking Grand Inquisitor. And, as much as most fans of the Kenobi series are believing right now, because most of them probably haven't seen Rebels, the Grand Inquisitor is not dead.
Yeah,
he's not dead, because first of all, if they kill him, that retcons Rebels. That retcons the entirety of Rebels. Second of all, his species have 2 stomachs. He's fine. He's completely fine. He's completely fine. He's good. He's Gucci. But like, just seeing Reva completely bypass the rules of the Inquisitores and her
within episode 2.
I guess her obsession. Yeah, like I guess her obsession with finding Obi Wan, like, it goes back to what Jordan said earlier. It probably makes sense if she was one of the younglings in the Jedi Temple flashback, and she like probably saw like Anakin doing some shady shit. So she probably saw Anakin and put the pieces together, because there's a whole other bucket of worms there of how the hell she knows Anakin is Vader when no one else in the galaxy knows.
An obsession with Vader.
With going off of that, I talked to Luke about this. Not yesterday. What was it? Saturday, I think it was.
I think the day after both. Yeah, like I think it was like the day after both episodes released, because we had like a big stint of talking about it on Saturday. We were like, "Oh my god, what is this?" Blah! Like,
yeah, but Vader and the Emperor go to extreme lengths to make sure that nobody knows who Vader actually is. Like, you could have a high-ranking senator be like, "Well, let's use Bail Organa. Let's just use Bail Organa because everybody knows Bail Organa." Let's say Bail Organa finds that, like, publicly announces, "Oh, Darth Vader is Anakin Skywalker." Bail would be dead in a matter of hours.
Mm-hmm.
That is the lengths. Like, they don't care. They don't care who it is that knows. That person will die.
I think the only people that we know in the Star Wars canon that actually know Anakin is Vader are Thrawn and Tarkin.
And
Ahsoka.
Tarkin, yeah, but at this point in time, at this point in time in the Obi Wan timeline, Rebels hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
When Rebels comes about, yes, Ahsoka finds out, and even she then doesn't believe it herself.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, "Oh, my master would never become as evil as you. Anakin Skywalker was weak. I destroyed him." Brr, like all that glorious stuff.
Anakin Skywalker.
But like, how Reva as an Inquisitor and as a character, I guess, as a person in the galaxy, knows that Vader is Anakin. It caught me off guard, and I think it caught a lot of people off guard in the series when she just turned around and went, "Oh, Anakin Skywalker's alive." Like, part of me, in the initial moment, I was focused on Obi-Wan's reaction, and then after the episode finished, I was like, "Wait a second."
Wait, we do see his eyes red.
How do you know? Yeah, I told you. We see Vader's eyes, like, at the end of the episode. They're bright red.
Same in the comic.
Oh yes, that's when he's doing his Sith stuff.
Which is why it's in the back to tank. This is probably at the same time. Wait, nope, never mind. No, this is 10 years. I'm wrong.
But I remember Luke was saying, like, "Oh, the Inquisitors know that Darth Vader is Anakin." I was like, no, nobody knows.
I could have sworn that the Inquisitors at some point knew who who Vader was, and I for some reason in my mind I had it that at least the Grand Inquisitor knew. No, I did. I went back and did my research. No, they don't. None of them know.
The only reason Thrawn knows is because he is a genius.
Oh, yeah.
So, spoilers for anybody who hasn't read the Thrawn novels, especially like book 2. It was Thrawn Alliance.
Mm-hmm.
Thrawn works with Anakin Skywalker during the Clone Wars, and then goes to the same location with Vader, and he's like, "I know you're Anakin Skywalker." and it was only that the only fact that Thrawn is still alive is that he is such a asset to the Empire. And
one of the only like non-human supporting non-human Imperials.
Oh, that's
He's the only non-human Imperial that actually is worth a damn. Because
to be fair, Thrawn him by himself brought the Empire like into a fucking golden age.
mm-hmm.
Like, oh, the stuff that man did.
Like, yeah, yes, the Inquisitors are of different species because they are fallen Jedi. They are Jedi that either voluntarily fell to the dark side or got captured and tortured until they turned. Thrawn willingly signed up, and the Emperor endorsed him because he knew how much of an asset he was.
So here's a question then. Going back to the Inquisitors. So we know that, as Charlie just said, we know the Inquisitors were fallen Jedi that fell to the dark side through capture and torture, or a couple of them were like, you know what, fuck the Jedi, yay, dark side.
Yeah. Mm.
You know, how do you guys personally, you Dom and you Charlie, how do you guys think Reva became an Inquisitor? Because she's obviously the most recent. Well, in my opinion, she's obviously the most recent Inquisitor in the ranks, because at this point in time, a fair few of them are dead. I think at this point in time,
10 years, so yeah.
Second sister is dead, ninth sister is dead, 10th brother is dead, and I think maybe sixth brother is dead, unless the Ahsoka novel takes place a bit later. Not sure.
Let me look.
But
that
what? How do you guys think she was, inducted into the Inquisitors?
So as far as I know, the sixth brother isn't dead because I believe the Ahsoka novel is not canon anymore.
Oh no, it's not. Is
it not?
I don't believe it is canon anymore.
Man.
Okay, so it does say that the book takes place a year after the Empire was established in Episode 3. As near as this thing says, as near as someone's comment says, as near as I can tell, that seems it's approximately 3 years after we last saw Ahsoka in the Clone Wars.
Oh, so really early on then.
It's really early.
As far as Reva, I believe she escaped the Jedi Temple because obviously they probably had plans in place in case the temple got attacked. They weren't expecting that scale of an attack, especially from allies, let alone one of their own. But I do believe that she escaped because we know that plenty of Jedi escaped, but they weren't in numbers or in the capacity to actually openly oppose the Empire. And I think she got off world, maybe got off world, I don't know, but was just drifting around and was homeless as best as we can tell, because the quote that the Grand Inquisitor says, look at where we got you from. You came from the gutter. So she either came from the slums of some very industrial imperial planet or some backwater planets. And my thoughts are she probably got tortured severely until she turned. And at some point found out that Obi Wan survived. And that he was in the temple during Order 66 or after Order 66 started, and she blames him for not saving her.
Yeah.
Not saving her fellow Padawans or whatever. So I think she got away for a while and then got captured because she is so much older than if she was captured immediately after 66 place.
Hold on.
Because she was a Padawan. She looked like, I want to say like 11 to 13 at the most.
Probably like 21.
See, my biggest question is, and it's really really small detail. So back in the the flashback to Order 66, that amazing sequence. How did that group of younglings get out the temple without a Jedi escort?
How did they not even get shot at?
Because the last time we saw those guys, they were just running away a completely empty catwalk. There were no clones coming at them. There were no clones following them. What happened?
Who killed them? Wait, did the one that die? Did the Jedi Master that died kill the last clone before dying?
Yes,
I think so. Yeah. Because like when the group of younglings they run away, like no one's following them. No one's following them. No one's like at the other end of the catwalk waiting for them. It's just the Jedi. You have the catwalk here, and then like below them on both sides, there's like, like it zooms out to show like the growing picture of Order 66 in the temple and the whole ass fuckery that entire sequence was. I mean, we got to see an amazing little sequence in that same picture of a Jedi down on the bottom right with a green lightsaber. Just before he gets killed, he manages to force push a clone all the way across the room.
Oh,
which was a really cool little detail. I liked the little the little extras that they managed to throw in there. It was a really good scene. But yeah, how did those guys?
My other theory on that, on like how maybe Reva got out of the temple, how the younglings got out of the temple, is maybe they found a place to hide that had already been swept by the clones and by Anakin. And
perhaps
when Obi Wan and Yoda came through the temple and cleared it out, they found them and told them to run, got them out.
Maybe. I mean, I'm hoping that we get
and then the fact that Obi Wan or Yoda never came back for these Padawans, these younglings, might also be where Reva gets her hatred for Obi Wan.
Yeah, there's definitely something there on like a personal level for her.
That's what I was saying. It's her drive to get him is more than this is just the job. It's personal.
It's strangely personal.
She blames him for something.
I mean, it's not the first time we've seen an Inquisitor work to get favor with Vader and the Emperor. We saw Trilla do it in Jedi Fallen Order, and obviously we saw we see the Grand Inquisitor do it basically every day. That's why he's a Grand Inquisitor after all. But like, this is the level of it's borderline obsession with capturing Obi-Wan and bringing him to Vader. I don't know what she's expecting. Like, say for example, she manages to do it. She brings Obi-Wan in, brings him to Vader. What is she expecting Vader to do? Like, is she expecting to be made into a full-blown Sith apprentice? Is she expecting to be made into the Grand Inquisitor? Like, going back to the scene when she was speaking to the fifth brother in the alleyway, she told the fifth brother that she was expecting, and I quote, what she is owed. And I'm like, what do you want from this situation, Reva? Like, what is she expecting to happen if she theoretically she brings Obi-Wan in? Like, what does she want? Like, it does beg the question in my mind, and I hope it's something that they probably will, but I hope it's something they definitely explore on, in the series. I'm hoping we do get more flashbacks into Order 66 and like post Order 66, because I want to see how that little group of younglings managed to survive getting out of the temple and not being either shot to death or sliced apart by the youngling Slayer 9000, or like, I just want to see more flashbacks into, if that little Padawan girl is Reva, I want to see more flashbacks into her transformation into the third sister.
There's also you go first.
No, that was literally it.
There's just one little thing back to the beginning flashbacks, or no, not even the flashbacks. Just Obi-Wan's like nightmare dream of memories. You can see what they actually fixed within the movie. Because didn't you see that? Where like Anakin's pushing Obi-Wan down, and you could see him holding Anakin's lightsaber. They fixed it to where it's Obi-Wan.
Yeah, they fixed a few special effects details from the movies,
which is impressive. And then what's another? There's another tangent that I want to go on for a bit.
Oh dear.
I saw a tweet the other day about, in support of what I'm trying to say. It's like they can't, like, it's the tweet that says you cannot tell me that like with how many there's no too many. You cannot tell me there is too many Jedi that survived Order 66.
No.
You can't. The number that it keeps increasing. It's more common. It's more common than we think.
So let me explain that to you. So, like I said earlier in the episode, there were 10,000 plus Jedi Knights, not Padawans, not Masters, Knights. 10,000 plus during the Clone Wars. A lot, like, they got killed off throughout the Clone Wars for this war, and then throughout the galaxy, simultaneously, Order 66 came into fruition, and they all got attacked by surprise. None of them could sense it because most of them were in battle, so their focus was on the battle. But then Sidious knew that wasn't going to kill all of them, hence why he created the Inquisitorius to hunt down these Jedi that escaped, that survived. And he knew that they would either go into hiding and try and blend in with regular people, like Obi Wan is doing. But then he knew there'd be others that try and start rebellions against him. Like we see Cal more or less do in Fallen Order. He starts his own rebellion, kind of.
In a way.
In a way. It's not like he's growing a rebellion to oppose the Empire, but he's not hiding away. He's not trying to hide from the Empire. But in canon, we only know of like a handful that actually made it out. But that's because after the merger between Lucasfilm and Disney, they're like, hey, this is canon, this is not canon. So that narrowed that list down considerably. So for all we know, there could be 2,000 Jedi, anywhere from Padawans to Master, that made it out.
Yeah, it's like,
but we're not going to know until we see it in shows, movies, books, or comics, or video games.
I was having a conversation with my sister earlier, because obviously my sister, she's a newer Star Wars fan. She's not a Star Wars fan. She's a Mandalorian fan. Why? Baby Yoda. You know, good old Disney's merchandising, capturing the hearts of 30-year-old women. You know, we got on the subject of who we think is going to show up in Kenobi. My sister's convinced Grogu's going to show up. My dad's convinced Grogu's going to show up. I'm not convinced he's going to show up. However, I am partly convinced that we're going to see Qui-Gon at some point.
Yes.
Because obviously in episode 1, obviously when Obi Wan has his little nightmare segment, and obviously he calls out to Qui-Gon. Now, do you guys think we're going to actually have Liam Neeson make an appearance as Qui-Gon, or do you think they'll just repurpose lines from the movies and maybe some cut dialogue like they did with like other actors who've like passed away from other movies, and like they'll take cut dialogue that they recorded for the character? Like, do you guys think we're going to have one or the other?
So what I'm thinking is, so we already know Liam Neeson is coming back to do Qui-Gon in Tales of the Jedi. So it's not, I don't see it being out of the realm of possibilities of them not bringing him back. But as we see in season 6 of the Clone Wars, he's not able to manifest himself as like a visible form. He has to be, for him to be able to communicate openly with another Force user, he has to be in a Force nexus, like Dagobah or the Planet of the Ones or wherever.
I never realized Dagobah was a Force Nexus.
Yes.
It's a dark side Force Nexus.
Yes,
that's
right.
the whole.
That
That's the whole
explains it.
reason. That's the whole reason Yoda hides there, because the Sith can't find him, because it's just a planet full of dark side. No Jedi would be stupid enough to go there.
Well,
that's why Yoda goes there.
Also, it's also more than that. It's not just that it's a dark side nexus. It's because we have the cosmic force and the living force. It's just overflowing with the living force because the amount of life on that planet. So you could take away the dark side nexus, and just the amount of living energy on that planet would be enough to hide Yoda.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another reason why he went there. He didn't go there because, oh, this is a dark side planet. He went there because he knew the amount, because since he had been there before, he knew the amount of living force that was there could mask him.
But on the subject of obviously a possible Liam Neeson cameo as Qui-Gon, do you guys think we're going to actually have, on the subject of character cameos, I'll say, do you guys think we're actually, like, do you guys think in the 6 episodes of Kenobi we're going to see anybody else, like from more expanded Star Wars media, or do you think it'll just be contained to like Obi Wan, the Organas, Luke and Leia, Ben, Beru, and the Inquisitors, and obviously Vader? Like, do you guys think we're going to see anybody else?
I will say this. Yes, the person I'm going to say, I am on the fence about.
Go on.
I remember hearing about talks of. Don't quote me. I don't know.
Get your notebook out, Charlie.
Jar Jar Binks coming back. I'm serious. No, because I'm serious. And what I can't take the I can't take this serious and not serious at the same time.
Are we gonna see Jar Jar finally fulfill the prophecy of becoming the Sith Lord, the Jedi we're looking for the entire time?
Well, he's gonna have a killer beard. How would a Gungan beard look like? That's why I'm not so sure. I have doubts.
Turns out it's not a beard. It's just his ears pulled down and wrapped around his head.
So we actually have a canon explanation of what happens to Jar Jar Binks post Order 66.
Oh yeah.
He goes back to Naboo to try and help with everything that's going on, but he gets shunned because he was the one that put Sidious in power. Like, it gave him that much power. So everybody's like, you did this. This is your fault. If Padme had been there, she wouldn't have put him in power.
Yeah, he wasn't even wearing his like representative robes when at the funeral.
I mean, I don't blame them really. Jar Jar sort of did fuck up.
He did fuck up. Because like that's who he is. Like that. Sadly, like he is literally the comic relief that somehow does not die in a situation where people are literally trying to kill him because of his clumsiness.
So, in terms of character cameos, hypothetically, say if we did have a cameo from, I'm not going to say Grogu because Grogu. You know, I don't want Grogu to turn up. The Empire currently have him, if he's even a thing yet, which he would be because he's 50 years old in The Mandalorian. So,
is the question.
He'd probably be on Tatooine. If anywhere, he'd be on Tatooine, because obviously that's where Din gets him from. But then, in that same light,
that wasn't Tatooine where he got him from.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't Tatooine. No, it was Navarro. I'm an idiot.
It wasn't Navarro either.
So
Navarro is where the guild was based out of.
Oh, of course.
He went to another planet. I forget the name of the planet, but it wasn't Tatooine or Navarro, because I actually looked it up. I was like, because when I saw that, I was like, wait, when did Jawas get off of Tatooine, or when did Jawas get off Tatooine? And it listed like 2 planets that they normally, like in large numbers, frequent.
I could have sworn it was Tatooine. My bad. But in terms of like characters, you guys think we'll see, like, obviously if Obi Wan goes back to Tatooine, because right now he's just left Daiyu, and he's off to some other planet where, quote, they will take care of Leia. First of all, who's they? Second of all, if he ends up going back to Tatooine, do you guys think we'll see like characters like Jabba? Do you think we'll see Jabba's palace? Do you think we'll see more of the bounty hunter side of Mos Eisley and stuff like that? Like, I think possibilities maybe they're endless, but like I just want to kind of get your guys' thoughts on any characters you guys maybe would like to see pop up in this series.
I think maybe we might see Yoda, not like them meeting face to face, but maybe like a flashback of them talking, or like a connection through the Force. Like there's like Obi Wan's not on Tatooine; he's somewhere else, to where he's like using the Force away from his home, and it's like Master, this shit happened, and Yoda's like, fucked up you did.
Fuck up you did. Exile you are, but Jedi not here. He's also wait, you first.
Another cameo I think I would like to see, I'm not holding my breath on it, is a Qui-Gon cameo, because we see in season 6 of the Clone Wars that Qui-Gon tried to reach out to Anakin, and he succeeded. He talked to Anakin on the planet of the Ones, and it was a very emotional time for Anakin. But what I would like to see, I'm not holding my breath on this. I'm not going to be one of those people who's like, oh yes, this was going to happen, because you guys have heard me rant about that enough, about like how people will try and theorize things into existence.
Oh yeah.
It's painful.
Like as we saw with Multiverse of Madness and Tony Stark. But seeing Qui-Gon trying to reach out to Anakin, who is now Vader, and him being so far gone that hearing Qui-Gon talk to him just enrages him more.
It could be a possibility.
Like it might be in a fight or something. Like it let's say it's during, because we already know, they've already confirmed that Obi Wan and Vader are going to fight in one of the episodes. So maybe it's during this fight that Qui-Gon tries to reach out to Vader, to Anakin, and draw him back to the light, but it just enrages him more and gives him the strength he might be lacking in order to beat Obi-Wan, to where Obi-Wan has to run and hide again.
See, I'm still, I mean, you guys know my thoughts on the whole Vader Obi-Wan fight happening in the series. I'm on the fence about it. Part of me is like, I want to see it happen, but part of me expects Obi-Wan to win, because I feel like if Obi-Wan loses, then it takes away the whole thing of when Vader and Obi-Wan, they reunite on the Death Star, and Vader's like, the exact words were, when I left you, I was but the learner. Now I am the master. It's like, if Vader wins this fight, when those two fight again, that sort of takes away from the whole thing of, oh, when I left, I was you were the master. Now I've taken your place as the master. Like, I feel something needs to happen, I suppose, but I guess I'll wait and see if they do, if they do it right, I suppose. On the subject of cameos, though, what are your guys' opinions on a possible Emperor cameo?
Oh, I think it is possible. It's not possible. I think most likely possible, because we see Vader in episode 2 in the back to tank. So we have a live action view of what he actually looks like 10 years after. So the process of how like scarring and tissue and healing from the back to tank.
So my thing is, I want to say yes, based off the fact that majority of the people they had speaking at Star Wars Celebration are known to be showing up in some product, like some production coming out in the near future. And the actor that plays Lord Sidious was there, and he spoke. The only other one that was there that I'm not entirely certain will be in any production was the actor that played Maul in Rebels.
I
what I was going to say.
I don't want him to show up.
I've
I don't want Maul to show up. He shouldn't know Obi-Wan's alive at this
He
point in
shouldn't.
time.
Like,
I don't
I'm not
I don't want to see him.
I'm not saying that he is going to show up,
Hmm.
but like from what I saw, I didn't watch Star Wars Celebration like you two did. Because I like this is hypocritical me doing a live podcast and but I don't like watching like live video feeds. Especially like big events.
Says the one hosting a stream.
But this is also a small thing. Like you live stream a concert or like something like that, I'm not gonna watch it. There's gonna be too much background noise from the people cheering, the fans going crazy, this, that, the other thing. But like live podcasts, it's small groups of people. It's easy to
like
even with like even if you have ADHD or ADD, you can like jump around and
Like
still
that.
kind of stay in like watching the podcast or participating in the podcast. But like something big like that, like I knew it was gonna be way too noisy, and I'd probably miss something because of everything that's going on. But like I said, to my knowledge, those are the only two that we don't know for certain are going to be in something. Because Maul might show up in a different production that comes out. He might show up in Andor. We don't know. He might show up in Tales of the Jedi.
He might show. He also might show up in Ahsoka.
That too. Well, no. He's dead by then.
Oh yeah.
Ahsoka is confirmed to more or less be a sequel to Rebels.
Okay.
Can he show up in Ahsoka? No, he can't.
He can't.
It'd have to be a flashback.
He's dead. He's dead.
The one thing. Okay, here's also one thing that I would think, because I actually think he would be in Kenobi, not for the reason that he would know Obi Wan. We get to see a side of him like in Solo. We see him because he's the guild leader of the Black Sun.
Yes, Crimson Dawn.
Crimson Dawn. That's his Crimson Dawn era. He wouldn't know Obi-Wan exists, but he would have beneficial to it.
Maybe.
I would also say for a cameo within Kenobi, not a person, a planet.
Go on.
Because we see, I think I want to see Lothal.
I don't see how that would fit with Kenobi.
True.
Because in every bit of canon media that I have personally looked at when in regards to Obi-Wan, he doesn't make mention or even remotely think, oh, I need to go to Lothal. Because, especially post-Empire, his concern is watching over Luke.
Mm-hmm.
And when the time comes, the boy must be trained.
Like we trained his father. Oh god, that scene. Man, honestly, the first two episodes of the series have definitely grabbed my attention enough to warrant a reaction of, okay, I need to watch this again. After we saw The Mandalorian, I had the same reaction with it. Book of Boba Fett sadly didn't grasp my attention enough. I was only watching it for the sake of watching it because I wanted to see what they added. Wasn't a whole lot, unfortunately, in my opinion. But the first two episodes of Kenobi have definitely grabbed my attention enough. I think maybe because I guess I know more about Obi-Wan and the Inquisitors, and the Inquisitors are my favorite thing in Star Wars canon, and obviously Obi-Wan is Obi-Wan. I'm not going to watch anything that I'm not going to not watch anything that has him in it, because why wouldn't I? Because it's fucking Obi-Wan Kenobi. So I want to see what more the series brings. I'm very curious as to the they that Obi-Wan is alluding to in the series.
Which wait, hold on. When did he do that? I'm getting very confused.
When he's like, I think at the end of the episode, I'm pretty sure at some point in one of the episodes he says to Leia that he's basically, when they were on about leaving Dayu, he says to Leia, like, well, I know somewhere we can go. I know people there. They can take care of you. Unless I'm got some weird Mandela effect going on and I completely misheard something completely different. They could just be going straight back to Alderaan. I have no idea. I couldn't be telling you, but if my memory serves me right, I would probably have to watch the episodes again. Like that's an issue. I'm pretty sure that Obi Wan said something about they can take care of us there. Because right now they're currently going to, it wouldn't come as a surprise to have the Inquisitors and the Empire tracking down this cargo shuttle going off of Dayu. That has Obi-Wan and Leia on it, and then tracking them down onto the planet that they go on, and then continuing their hunt there. I'm 90% sure from what I heard the fake Jedi scam artist saying to that mother and son that the freight shuttles were going to Corellia. So we could see more of Corellia in the live action. So we could see more of what's going on that planet. We could possibly see a younger Han Solo if they interact, which I don't think they will because they've never met before episode 4. So there's just a lot that could happen. I'm just curious as to what episode 3 brings, and Wednesday can't come quick enough.
Did he say that? Never mind. I'm probably overthinking this. I was also going to make a joke earlier, like watch to see Dex. Watch to see it be Dex.
So
Dex. that's relationship. Like it's like he knows from there. There's history there.
Nah,
it would be a good. I think that also be a good.
that would be a really funny little addition to the series. He goes onto this planet and just sees Dex running like this really old rundown diner, like he did back on Coruscant. And he like serves him, doesn't recognize him at first, and then he does the whole classic Obi Wan.
I shake my mustache. Barely anyone notices.
Do you guys think we're going to see any more clones? Because after that clone scene on Dayu, that heartbreaking scene with the clone beggar asking to give a war veteran some food, like that tugged at the heartstrings. That scene definitely tugged at the heartstrings.
Even though you're shitting on the clone armor.
Shitting on were you shitting on the?
Listen, I will shit on the clone armor because the clone armor in the flashback did not look good. Didn't look good. I don't know if it was because it was CGI or if all the clones in the close-up shots were all practical effects. I just didn't like how it looked. The clone armor in that single scene with the clone on the ground begging for food, the armor looked a lot better. I don't know what they did different. Production value was a lot different, but I just know that in the flashback scene, the clone armor looked like ass. It looked like a kid's fucking Black Series Hasbro toy that I can get for like $100 off Amazon. It looked like shit, and I will stand by that because I didn't like how it looked. But like, I still want to see more of it because I want to see more of clones sort of coming to grips with what they did in Order 66, or if they even come to grips with what they did in Order 66 at all, because a lot of them didn't. A lot of them sort of were like, oh, we followed orders, we did what we told to do. A lot of them didn't know it was part of the inhibitor chip. A lot of them didn't know it was part of their programming to follow Order 66 without any question at all. So they
were just doing as they're told, and it's like the brain chemicals in the brain caused by the chip.
Mm-hmm. And so it'll be interesting to see if Obi-Wan actually interacts with any of these clones, and if we see any of these clones deciding, oh, I actually remember what happened in Order 66. I remember killing my general. I remember this, that, and the other, and then how they reconcile with that fact and how they come to grips with it.
Yeah, we talked about that like months ago about when I was creating adapting my clone character.
Mm-hmm.
To what was it? Force? No, it was something beyond that. It was just a roleplay server and I was adapting my clone character Seeker to the point where he followed Order 66, but as the years went on, the effects of Order 66, like his personality slowly came back, memories and regret slowly came back, and then just finding out no purpose and just being in a place where, how the fuck did we do this in some sort of way?
So one thing I want to point out about the clone beggar scene, if you look closely, it's a 501st clone.
It is, yeah.
So that
he was in the temple.
It was more, or well, it could have been one of the clones that was left behind on Mandalore post Siege of Mandalore.
Well,
because there were some 501st clones that were left behind.
His helmet was not like
his helmet.
It's been 10 years.
His helmet, but his helmet was blue.
His helmet was blue. The orange would still have a major effect, and that wasn't. I don't think that was the 501st too. That was a whole different legion that painted their head.
Yeah, I think those are the ones that
it was a sub. They all came from the 501st, and at the time, Commander Rex was. They created their own group. Anakin created their own group to be under the command of Commander Rex with a civilian liaison of Ahsoka for the Siege of Mandalore. But the entirety of the 501st otherwise was on Coruscant.
Yes.
But that looked, Obi Wan gave him credits for a warm meal out of probably pity that this, like, yes, the clones did what they did, but at the same time, they're still living beings, and they deserve an ounce of sympathy regardless of what they did. But if you notice, the moment he sees as a 501st clone, he has a bit of a oh shit kind of moment.
Oh, he definitely.
He's like, ooh.
Yeah, he definitely hesitates.
The fact that the clone. I was going to say earlier that like it would have been if it was a different clone and from a different legion, it would have probably been. Like he probably would not have still, as the thing, does not recognize Obi-Wan. But the fact that he's a 501st clone, how would he? I would be surprised of how like he wouldn't be like have an inkling of familiarity looking at his.
That's the thing though, is while Star Wars, especially the Republic, has these weird like unit setups. A legion is the biggest unit size in the entire Star Wars universe. A legion is. So the 501st Legion was massive. So not every clone is going to know a general from another unit. They'll know Anakin, but they might not know Obi-Wan. They might know of his name because of constantly working with the 212th. But
that was what it was.
They're not gonna necessarily know exactly what he looks like.
Yeah.
And also, it's been 10 years. They're probably going to assume that he's dead or he's in hiding.
It was definitely a heart-wrenching scene. Not only because it was seeing a clone 10 years after Order 66, but it was more of the thing of seeing, like Charlie said, it was more of a thing of seeing a member of the 501st in the position that he was, because a bunch of the 501st in canon, well, all of them actually, we thought that all of them became Vader's fist in canon. They all joined. The 501st specifically stayed the 501st Stormtrooper Legion. They all stayed as Stormtroopers. They were all clones that became Stormtroopers. Yeah, this one clone of the 501st was left on Daiyu to beg for food. What the hell happened?
I'm thinking
out there and never left.
There's that. But there's also the chance that since we now see how quickly the Empire started transitioning clones out of service with natural-born recruited soldiers, he could in Legends, we knew that the entirety of the 501st was all clones from the 501st turned into Vader's fist.
Yep.
In canon, we don't know that anymore because they haven't really elaborated on Vader's fists.
That is fair. That is good.
So
Okay.
Vader's fist might be made up of. There are like a few. I know for a fact there are a few clones in Vader's fist. But there are. It's not guaranteed that they are all clones. They could be just the very best of the Stormtrooper Corps, or just the Imperial military in general.
Yeah. Okay.
And this clone just was one of the few that just got the short end of the stick and got transitioned out when they were transitioning recruited soldiers in.
Yeah, I can see that. I can definitely see that. It's still definitely a sad sight to see though, because obviously
because in Legends we see commando clones, which were the very best, get turned into Imperial guards.
Oh yeah,
all these like very prestigious guards, like all these prestigious units. But in canon, they're training TK troopers. They're not being a menace to the galaxy like they were in Legends.
No, they're
teachers. They're teachers.
Oh, we're gonna see more Commando clones in Bad Batch season 2.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, and it's because of their increased aging. I feel the Empire. They're considered the elders of the war. And that's another thing too. What was it? That's another thing too, because what was I gonna say? Because I was like trying to compare that clone to one in the Bad Batch, Hauser.
So the thing with you touched on it when you were talking about your clone OC for one of the roleplay servers you were in, is after some digging and just understanding the lore of it, all the inhibitor chips did was take away their free will.
Yeah.
They were fully aware of what was going on. They retained all of the memories of what they did. And that's why when they finally deactivated the inhibitor chips, the rate of clone suicide skyrocketed.
It's a heighten of PTSD.
Because they finally have their free will back. And they can't live with what they did.
Yeah, because like I think that's also all right. I'm gonna use this the weird analogy.
Oh dear.
I will say we should probably wrap this up soon. We are sitting at about an hour and a half live.
We are.
What time over there in the UK?
Oh, in here on the other side of the pond in jolly old England, it is currently 2:45 in the morning.
Yeah, so we can soon. So you're not, you don't work tomorrow. You're not up.
Nah, it's fine. I don't work for a living. I'm a gamer.
Sure.
I don't need sleep. I need games.
I don't need sleep. I need answers.
I don't need sleep. I need me when I watch Kenobi. Me when I watch anything new to do with Star Wars. I don't need sleep. I need answers.
This is what I also like about Kenobi. It's the creators, and it's mostly I think Dave and John. They know what the fans want. Well, they know what to do, what to avoid, as well as seeing the creativity that Star Wars fans have made. Like how I said earlier, like they took inspiration from the edits on YouTube of telling the story through just taking stuff out of the movies and shows to using it as a flashback. Same thing in how I think that there was also one thing that I also saw that did similar things too. What was it? I can't think of it right now, but I forget. I just oh my god.
No, it's left your mind.
ADHD, everyone.
It gets the best of us.
It does indeed. But I am very excited to see what more Kenobi brings to the table. I cannot wait to see more of my Inquisitors. I cannot wait to see the repercussions of Reva attacking the Grand Inquisitor, coming back to bite her in the ass 7 ways through Sunday.
Yeah.
That's going to be very interesting. I have a theory that the next episode is going to be a bit more of a Vader centered episode, because obviously the last episode ended with Vader. So we might get a bit of a focus on him doing what he's doing. He might be the one to slap Reva about and be like, "Don't attack the Grand Inquisitor." Slap, 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 slap. We don't know. We don't know. I just know that I'm very excited to see all of it.
I remember what I was going to say.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Yeah.
So Dom, I'm gonna let you finish up what you're gonna say, and then I'm going to close this out.
We'll get us wrapped up.
They're taking inspiration of what fans have created over the years, of what they want to see and how they tell the story and how they see it, into a story point that we've not seen before, and how that could go upon. Like how I also saw a video when we were talking about if Liam Neeson was back to be Qui-Gon, and that's confirmed.
Mm-hmm.
He would go to he's already gone Anakin. I saw a clip where they used lines from every movie, and probably one Liam Neeson was in Star Wars, and Darth Vader into one video having a conversation. Similar to that, and doing, I think, also of Luke, which probably could be a same thing to that.
Could happen.
Inspiration. I just never all the thing. It's good. Fine. It's fine.
All right, Dom, while I have you front and center, this is your opportunity to plug your social media, shout out whatever you want to shout out, and then I'll go to you, Luke, and I'll then do my whole spiel and close this out for the night.
Woo!
All right, you can find me on TikTok at dshine12 right over here. I'm trying to get back. I'm getting back into Star Wars content, posting that out. I will be posting videos there as well. I also have Instagram, but I only use that for like personal use and stuff like that. That's it.
All right, Luke, where can everybody find you at?
You guys can find me at Raven Relic 121. My TikTok and Instagram are on the same handle. My Instagram is mainly used for my art stuff and my commission posts and stuff like that. My TikTok is my cosplay page. Trying to get back into TikTok. Will eventually get back into that when I can eventually get the motivation. Probably in the next month or so when I've moved house and I have a bigger room.
Same. I'm also going to be moving house within the city.
Other than that, that is basically it. And all I will say is, may the force be with you always. And
also read the High Republic.
we will get into chatting about the High Republic on the next stream. I can tell you that.
I cannot wait.
All right, guys, you can find me at Carolina Boy 232 on TikTok. It's kind of a mess right now. I just kind of post whatever. I did do a fair bit of Star Wars content. Gonna try and get back into that. It's just been kind of hectic because I've had a lot of personal stuff going on. But then we will be back Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard, 6 o'clock Central. Luke, what time will that be for you over there?
We started tonight at, what was it, 8 p.m. your time?
Yeah.
Yes.
So it will be midnight for me.
No, it's 7. Oh yeah, for you. Yeah, never mind.
7 p.m. for Charlie.
For Charlie.
Like midnight for me, which is fine. I can do that.
I was going on if you were talking about today, and I was like, no,
And the reason for doing it on Friday is I want to give everybody a chance to see the episodes and have some time to digest, come up with thoughts. That way, when we do go live, if you join us, you can interact with us, and we might answer some questions that you have, or you might bring up questions that we didn't think of. But until Friday, this has been the Sandari Broadcast System. May the Force be with you, and good night.
Bye, guys.
Signing out.